Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Blue Archive video. So let's talk about Tiphareth. For the final restriction boss, how do you actually tackle this particular boss? So we're gonna jump into best team compositions and what you can basically do, and I will show you guys my own attempt in beating floor 74. Close to it, right? But I figured that's pretty much as perfect as I can get. I will try it again later today. Let's first talk about this particular boss and what this boss is going to be all about in terms of the mechanics. Now, if you are doing in the lower levels like floor 24, floor 49, maybe floor 74, you can get away with Swimsuit Hanako. Now, Swimsuit Hanako is probably going to be one of the better students for you to use in terms of the earlier levels. Alright, so she is going to be very, very good. However, you can see she doesn't have the terrain advantage, so that's going to make her do a little bit less damage. Now, what is going to be the problem mainly for Swimsuit Hanako? She can sometimes not hit all of the minions that the boss summons, and that is going to be very, very crucial. Alright, ideally, you want to get rid of all the minions, because those minions translate to damage towards the boss, the main body. And if you don't kill them, they translate to a healing for the boss, which can be really devastating, right? So that's going to be something that you want to keep in mind. And of course, she doesn't have the range or capabilities to sometimes hit the boss. Now, even if you can make it work, sometimes you can move her around with Tracksuit Yuka and try to fire her spray around left and right. She might run into survivability issue because the boss is going to do piercing damage for you. Now, if you guys are not aware, Swimsuit Hanako, yep, her defense is going to be yellow. So conveniently, she's just not going to be that great defensively, so that's going to be one problem that she's going to run into. Now, this is going to be somewhat the pattern that you'll see across plenty of these characters right now, including Momiji as well. She is going to get one-shotted in the later levels. Now, if you are doing up to level 74, I think it's still going to be manageable. Level 99, that's where it gets a little bit tricky, and of course level 100, your Swimsuit Hanako, your Momiji, doesn't matter how strong they are just going to get destroyed in one hit, right? So I would recommend using either Dress Saori or Rei. Now, let's first address the boss mechanics. What is the boss going to be all about? But first things first, a quick message from today's sponsor. Now, this video is sponsored by AnimeDakimakurapillow.com. Now, if you guys are not aware what Dakimakura is, it's a body pillow that you hug to sleep at night, and usually it consists of your beautiful waifus. You can put different cover on it depending on who or what you prefer. Now, Anime Dakimakura Pillow is a website that sells plenty of Dakimakuras, as you can see right here, that comes from various different animes and also gacha games. As you can see, we have one right here, Ganyu from Genshin Impact, and there's also Raiden Shogun right here. Now, they also have plenty of various designs for Nikkei and Blue Archive all over their website. Also, it comes with various different sizes if you guys are looking to pick one for yourself. It's going to come in 100 centimeters, 160 centimeters length, and 150 centimeters length. Looks hard to open, man. The moment I tear it open, it's probably going to be... So it is in a compressed bag. The printing quality is really good. Both sides, right? Can you guys see the front side and the back side is different? Okay, fine. Just shake it then. The shape is not right. That's better. So Miyabi one side, Miyabi the other side. So if you guys are interested, the link is right there. They got a Halloween Daki sale. You can use the code here. So yeah, big shout out to AnimeDakimakurapillow.com for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you guys use my coupon code to get 10% off ADP-GR, and I'll have all the relevant links in the description below. I'll try to make it easy for you guys because there's a lot of things that you need to understand for the boss, but basically the boss is divided into 3 different small minions and one main boss in the middle, the sacrificial healer. Now, Tiphareth activates 2 out of 3 cores and summons 4 laborers around each core. This is going to be something that you'll see every single phase, right? And then decrease damage taken by 50% before sacrificial healer is used. And you basically want to try to attack one of the few different ones. Now, the left one is going to be very, very interesting, right? The blue core, alright? The left one is the blue core. This one will basically send out one particular blue shield towards your character, and this is going to land on your striker student with the shortest range, which explodes after 8 seconds, dealing damage to all targets in the range, which is going to be very, very good. Now, who is this going to be targeting in particular? That's going to be where Aoba comes in, right? If you use this team comp, for example, Aoba is going to be the one with the shortest range. Alright, she is going to be the one that basically gets hit right here, right? So she's constantly the target because she is going to be one of the shortest range character, plus she's free, accessible in the event right now. Make sure you guys do the train event. So 3-star is going to be more than sufficient enough. Now the red coil in front is going to aim the striker student with the shortest range for 8 seconds, then release a wave that ignores the barrier, alright, and deals damage as well. So that is going to be very, very annoying. You have to make sure to move your Aoba. Again, your Aoba is going to be the target in most cases. That's why you want to move her to the left and right. Granted, she's pretty much free, which is going to be a very, very good thing. And then the right one, the yellow core. This is going to be very important. Shoots missiles, deal damage. If the target does not have a barrier, then your missile explodes, dealing damage. But if you have a barrier, then the missiles will be reflected back to the yellow core. You know, this is going to help with doing damage and accumulating the groggy gauge. This is going to be very, very important. You want to have one character that can have shield. Alright, shield is going to be very crucial. You want to bounce back the missiles back to the enemy if it's possible, right? So that's going to be the main important mechanics pretty much. Now, the important thing is every time the shield from the laborers is open, you want to try to get rid of the minions pretty much, or else the boss is going to recover HP. That's going to be pretty much what you need to pay attention to. Ideally, in most cases, the most important thing for Tiphareth is going to be having shield, because you can see right here, she sometimes will do damage towards your enemies, and if you don't have a barrier, you receive 50% recovery boost reduction. That's going to be a little bit annoying, right? So basically, your objective is to try to get Tiphareth to the groggy state as soon as you can, because right here you can see, if Tiphareth becomes groggy, damage taken by Tiphareth increased by 100%, and of course strikers, students, cost recovery increased by 1000. Now, this damage taken by Tiphareth is increased by 50% until the end of battle. So the sooner you can get Tiphareth to the groggy state, the better, right? So make sure you guys are timing it in particular. So with that, let's show you guys a little bit of the strategy right here on how to deal with Tiphareth. So as you guys can see, this is going to be my team. Let me explain a little bit what each of these characters do, what they provide as a whole. So this is going to be for floor 74. Again, like in the higher level, some characters are going to be much more important. So you got Kisaki, Ryo, Ako. Very simple, very basic, very straightforward. I don't need to explain. Kisaki is going to boost EX skill damage. Ryo is to basically allow your DPS, in this case, Dress Saori, to move twice. And then Ako is going to give crit damage, right? Now we got Swimsuit Anako here to basically heal. Alright, our shield is going to be Tracksuit Yuka. Alright, so you got one character that can heal, one character to shield. Now depending on who you have, you can also, what you can also do, if you don't have Tracksuit Yuka, right? You use Swimsuit Shizuko, and then you put like something like a healer right there, like I guess Koharu has a yellow weakness, so that one is going to be quite tough. Yeah, if you don't have Tracksuit Yuka, maybe you can still use single target healer, something like Kokona. If you have constant shield from Shizuko in this particular case, I feel like in most cases, because she is going to be able to give 4 allies the healing, but you might have to like you know, try to time the rotation, and also you might have to change certain things, right? But in general, make sure you have one character that can shield and one character that can heal. Kaede is also one of the few known characters that you know, some players used to shield as well. Or Swimsuit Amy if you have her build, right? Now in this case, we got Hikari. Now I am not using Nozomi because I heard there's a bug, right? Right now, that Nozomi's 5 cost and 6 cost apparently doesn't do... It do less damage apparently. That's going to be a bug that seems to be happening right now. So also don't have enough Highlander books, so this is going to be what it is. I couldn't get her up higher in terms of the skill level. Want to wait for the reset before we get the Highlander books. Cherino is there just for cost regen. Pretty much just that's it. She's not going to do anything. Aoba is going to be there because she's going to be the target for the boss to basically aim, and she will activate some mechanics for the boss. Since Oshino is going to give you cost regen, again very important, and just 1 DPS, in this case Dress Saori. Everyone else is just going to be buffing her, right, pretty much. Okay, so this is going to be the battle. I will explain, I will try to guide and explain everything that I can as we go through this. Now first things first, when you enter the battle, we're going to activate Swimsuit Oshino first for the cost regen. Okay, and then we're going to try to activate Tracksuit Yuka in this particular case. Now keep in mind, Tracksuit Yuka can only give 3 students the shield. So in this case, I'm going to target Dress Saori, Hikari, and Cherino right here, right? So I'm just aim at behind Dress Saori. So she jumped behind Dress Saori, and she's going to give 4 students, including herself, the shield. Alright? And then you can start applying buffs on Dress Saori now. You can start with Rio first. Okay. And then put Hikari there. So now you can see the boss opens up the core for this particular main minions right here. So you can see on the left side and the right side, the Tiphareth core has been exposed. So this is going to be very, very important. Now we can attack that, right? So notice the left one sent out this blue ball. This is going to go after your Aoba because she's the shortest range character, right? So what you want to do is you send Aoba to the right, alright? And then it will follow her here. So she's right now right there. And then meanwhile that is happening, just continue applying buffs to your Dress Saori. Just apply Akko, you know, Himari, I mean not Himari, Kisaki, and the following one, right? So wait for this particular shield from Aoba to explode. Try to time it. Wait for it to... Okay, so now the Tiphareth is gonna hit the missile. Okay, there, it exploded, right? It's gonna bounce back. So now we're gonna try to go in with Saori. Hit the right side. Boom. Notice how all of this convert to this particular red ball. It's gonna go attack the boss right there. So do the same for the left side as well. So Saori should be able to attack twice, right? Because with Rio, so she can do the right side and then the left side. And then the left side is gonna go boom. Hit the boss. Okay, so now reset. So we're gonna try to rinse and repeat a little bit. Do the same thing, right? Wait for a little bit of almost 20 costs. And then we're gonna go with Swimsuit Hoshino first. Right, so we start off with that just to refresh that. And then same thing, apply the shield with Tracksuit Yuka. Alright. And then just wait for a little bit. You can apply buffs on Dress Saori right now. Hikari, Akko, Rio. Ideally you want to get Rio out first, right? Okay, so now this time is the middle one and the right one. The left one is not there, right? So we're gonna send Aoba again to the right. So this thing will try to aim Aoba, that laser thing, right? It will try to like target her. So continue buffing your Dress Saori with Kisaki and everyone, right? Very simple, very straightforward. And then we will go with the middle. So get rid of middle, make sure you aim and target the boss as well. Okay, and then do the same for the right side. After you apply Dress Saori, alright, you can apply all the buffs. You can basically attack one more time. I like to do that just so we can rack up extra damage. So you hit the middle, hit right, apply the buffs again. Alright, just cycle through, use Aoba again. Alright, and try and see if you can go in one more time. The timing is a little bit tight. As you can see, I did it a little bit late, so the the thing already got the shield. But if you do it correctly, you should be able to do middle, right. You should be able to do Dress Saori 3 times, right? So now it's okay. We just reset all over again. Not the perfect rotation, but hey. So again with Swimsuit Hoshino, and then Tracksuit Yuka right there with the shield, perfect shield, and then buff Dress Saori again. Try to set it up for the upcoming one. Okay. So this time, notice we got the middle one and the left one, so the right one is not there. So Aoba is going to have the blue thing coming after us. This time we're going to send Aoba to the left, alright? We'll send Aoba to the left, and then we're going to try to again Dress Saori to the middle. Make sure you guys hit the boss as well. The boss need to be, you know, you're going to get a little bit of extra damage. And then, you know, go to the left. Again, same thing. We're going to try to apply the buffs with Dress Saori so that we can hit the left twice. Reapply the buff Kisaki, Akko. Do it as fast as you can. So this time I managed to time it correctly. And it looks like the timing this time was way better than the previous one. So you will have enough cost to do, you know, to do 3 attacks from Dress Saori in this particular instance. Okay. So now, reapply your Swimsuit Hoshino at about, I would say, 230, right? So apply all the Rio buff on Dress Saori first on about 230. I would say that's so far the timer, so try to watch the timer above. 2 minutes 30 seconds, you want to try time the tracksuit Yuka jump a little bit. I might not be able to do it perfectly, but the boss is going to shoot this laser, right? You can see right here. And then you want to try to see if you can shield them and get everything up. So now this particular sequence, now you can see this one is going to be very, very important. Alright, so why is this important? Because you can see now there's 3 places that open. The middle, the left, and the right. So you gotta make sure to destroy everything in time. Remember, if you do not destroy them in time, alright, we send our bar to the left, what is going to happen is they are going to convert into the blue souls, and then they're going to heal the boss instead. Which is why like Shinsu Hanako might sometimes struggle with some of these leftovers. She might not be able to hit everyone, right? Okay, so Hikari for Saori right here, right? So this is going to be what it is. And then do the right one. And then buff with Ako, Kisaki, and as per usual. Okay, nice, that's perfect. And then go to the left one. Okay, so remember you want to try to build the boss groggy bar. Okay, I think we should be able to activate just about right. So the boss is almost at groggy, right? So I tried to use Shinsu Hanako to heal a little bit there because we are sort of dying. So again, the boss at about 2 minutes, right? The boss is going to fire this thing again. I think about, I would say 2 minutes and 2 seconds. You want to prepare Tracksuit Yuka to basically jump. I think I did this a little bit too late, right? To try to get the shield stuff. Again, boss open up again. So this time, you don't need to fire 3 times this time. For this sequence, you only need to fire twice. Dress Saori, go to the middle. Okay. And then Rio. And then Ako. And then we're gonna go Kisaki. And then we're just gonna go to the left one. And then the boss is gonna enter groggy stat, right? So during this particular period, try and spam. You can spam and try to target the boss and do as much as you can, right? The more you can cycle through this Dress Saori, the better. But you also want to time it in a way that so that you have Dress Saori at the beginning of the next turn, which is what I did right here, right? I try and make sure that I have Dress Saori for during the next phase. I didn't fire right there. I try to make sure that I have enough because during this next phase, so now the boss is going to enter phase 2. Alright, so phase 2 is going to be very, very crucial. So you want to have Dress Saori at the beginning, you want to like fire these things. During this period, you cannot activate, I think, normal skill, or is it basic skill, but you have increased movement speed. So try to destroy all of these obstacles. The faster you get through this, the better. And since Dress Saori is the only character that we have to do damage, we have to like try to use the other character's skill to basically cycle through them. You can basically spam like Hoshino or Cherino right here. I don't know why I didn't do that, right? I guess I was like, I wasn't paying attention, or was still trying to learn the rotation, right? But yeah, you can see right there, definitely, again, not a perfect example right here. I sort of like, didn't do a perfect job right here, right? In terms of like, pushing through this faster. I definitely could have done that way faster. So now you can reach this particular boss. It's going to be a little bit tight, but you want to have Dress Saori again. Try to do as much damage as you can. You can see the boss immediately enter groggy. Just spam Dress Saori during this period, right? So try to hit the minions along the way as well. And that's pretty much what you'll be doing. Alright, you want to like buff Dress Saori, Kisaki, you know, and all the stuff. You can see I try to target, should I send in Aoba right there? I don't know why I didn't do that, right? I did that a little bit too late. Should have just used Cherino's skill right there. Because at this point, the faster you can cycle around, the better. So you can only do so much. So you can see this is going to be very, very tight, right? Times 21, times 20. As you can see, I got Dress Saori's skill right there. On the last minute, I activated it because I waited, right? I should have very, very close, right? That last attack would have been able to beat the boss, but that's pretty much the closest that I could get. I will try again later on, but this is going to be what it is. So Dress Saori, she's pretty much going to be the one carrying you. Actually, I just figured I actually only have a UE 30, if I UE 40 her, I think she could have done this for sure, no problem, right? This is my own dress Saori, and that is going to be how you do this particular boss. Now obviously for level 99, the sequence is going to be a little bit different. It's kind of the same concept, but it's a little bit different in terms of the I believe the boss also has a extra minions that you can try to hit as well. So that is pretty much what Tiphareth is all about. Hopefully this guide can help some of you guys out there in understanding Tiphareth's mechanics. Alright, so it can be a little bit tricky if you're trying to read and understand everything, but you know, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer you guys. So yeah, with that being said, that's going to be it for this particular video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And if you guys are interested to get an anime Dakimakura, make sure you guys check out my link in the description below. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.